Good afternoon, students. Welcome to the class again on coordination chemistry. We were discussing measurement of magnetic moments. Now we will discuss about the importance of magnetic moment. Magnetic moment mu of a transition metal will give important information about the number of unpaired electrons and the structure of the molecule. Generally, we will take one example for an octahedral cobalt 2 complex. Mu is given as 4 Bohr magnetons. Mu is given as 4 Bohr magnetons. What is its electronic structure? What is its electronic structure? We know cobalt, whose atomic number is 27. And cobalt is in +2 oxidation state. So its electronic configuration will be D7. Now it is given octahedral complex. Octahedral complex means, now there are two possibilities for the cobalt. It may exist either in a low spin complex or it may exist in high spin complex. Now, when we take it as a high spin complex, out of the 7 electrons, first 3 electrons will enter into T2G, next fourth and fifth electrons will enter into EG. Once everything is half filled, this can be sixth electron will come and pair here, seventh electron will come and pair here. So it is a high spin electronic configuration. It is a high spin electronic configuration, T2G5 EG2. Whereas when we look at low spin electronic configuration, the 6 electrons will be accommodated in T2G itself, then 7th electron will go to higher orbital. So it is a low spin complex. The electronic configuration is T2G6 EG1. Now, just calculate the spin-only magnetic moment for these two systems. The spin-only magnetic moment for this is, because there are 3 unpaired electrons, the spin-only magnetic moment will be 3.87 Bohr magnetons. Whereas here we have only one unpaired electron, so the spin-only magnetic moment will be 1.73 Bohr magnetons. Now look at the given value. The given value mu is given as 4 Bohr magnetons, which is nearer to the spin-only magnetic moment. So the given mu equal to 4 Bohr magnetons is matching with the spin-only magnetic moment. That means the complex is a low spin complex, high spin complex with electronic configuration T2G5 EG2. Now the difference, that means 0.13, the difference 0.13 can be orbital contribution. The difference in mu, how much it is, 0.13 Bohr magnetons. It can be from orbital contribution. Orbital contribution. I did tell you that the magnetic moment may vary from spin-only formula. Now, there may be orbital contribution which increases the magnetic moment from spin-only formula. So, for a complex to have an orbital contribution, it must have metal ion must have an unfilled or half filled orbital similar to in energy. That of occupied orbitals. What is this meaning? I'll tell you. For example, we have already seen it for D7 case. Now we will take D5 case in a low spin iron 3 plus state, which is having D5 configuration. Because it is a low spin, it will have T2G5 EG0. That means all the 5 electrons are filled in the lower T2G level. Now look at the electronic distributions. These two orbitals are completely filled, whereas this suborbital is half filled. That means it is not a symmetrical configuration. This is having unsymmetrical configuration. All the 3 d orbitals, all the 3 T2G orbitals are having same energy, but the electronic arrangement is not uniform in all these 3 degenerate orbitals. So when an unsymmetrical electronic configuration is possible within a degenerate state, then orbital contribution will possible in 3D itself. In the previous case, I said 3D elements mostly have spin-only formula, but if the unsymmetrical electronic configuration in the in a same degenerate level is possible, then 3D elements will also have orbital contribution in their magnetic moments. I'll give one more problem. For Mn NCS 6 times 4 minus, mu value is 6.06 in Bohr magnetons. What is its electronic configuration? Now just take 2 minutes and try to solve this problem. Look at this complex. NCS is having -1 charge, so a total of -6 charge must be here. But here we have only 4 minus. That means manganese is in 2+ oxidation state. Manganese, whose atomic number is 25, in its 2+ state, it will have 5 electrons in the d orbital. Now there are two possibilities. One is low spin complex, another one is high spin complex. One is low spin complex, another one is high spin complex. Now arrange electrons, these 5 electrons according to high spin. Because it is a high spin, after filling the T2G, electrons will go to EG. Whereas in a low spin complex, the electrons will not go to EG. Instead, they will start pairing in T2G itself. So in a high spin, we have an electronic configuration of T2G3, EG2, whereas in a low spin, we have an electronic configuration of T2G5, EG0. Now, what is the magnetic moment given? Magnetic moment given is 6.06 Bohr magnetons. Now we will try to calculate the magnetic moment from these two electronic configurations. Here the magnetic moment is, there are 5 unpaired electrons, so it will have 5.92 Bohr magnetons. Here we have only one unpaired electron, so the magnetic moment will be 1.73 Bohr magnet. Now the given magnetic moment is similar to spin only magnetic moment for a high spin complex. That means in this complex, the electronic configuration of manganese ion is T2G3 Eg2. This is how we will determine the electronic configuration of transition metals by measuring the magnetic moment. Now the difference in magnetic moment, it will be orbital contribution or it may be spin orbit coupling. So there may be some deviations in magnetic moment, but only thing is we need to look at the comparable value. We will try to learn substitution reactions and complexes. So that means reactivity of complexes. When we talk about the reactivity of complexes, we need to understand two terms, labile and inert. What is labile and what is inert? Labile means you can have a similar word like unstable. Inert means you can have a word like stable. Labile complexes are the one which involve in reactions, whereas inert complexes, they don't involve in reactions. Complexes which allow exchange of its own ligands by other ligands are known as labile complexes. Labile complexes means which involve in a reaction, or in other words, complexes which readily involved in reactions are called as labile complexes. An example is if we take another ligand, then we can have a substitution with this ligand. Capital L ligand can be substituted for small l ligand. So this complex is called as a labile complex. This is a labile complex. What are inert complexes? If complexes do not involve in any reaction, then they are called inert complexes. Complexes which does not allow exchange of its own ligands by other ligands are called as inert complexes. Now, if we want to do a reaction, for example, a substitution reaction on this complex, it will not allow any reaction. Then it is called as an inert complex. Inert complex. What are these terms? Inert and labile. Labile and inert terms are kinetic terms. Labile and inert terms are kinetic terms. That means they only tell you whether a complex will involve in a reaction or not. Labile complexes will involve in reactions. Inert complexes will not involve in reaction. That means labile complexes are unstable in a reaction and inert complexes are stable in a reaction. Please do not confuse with thermal stability. Do not confuse with thermal stability. Kinetic terms, kinetic means which discusses with the rate of reactions. Whereas thermal stability deals with the stability of complexes at different temperatures. So thermal stability is different, kinetic stability or kinetic instability is different. Labile compounds may be thermally stable. Inert complexes may be thermally unstable. So that is a different concept. Please do not mix both the kinetic and thermal concepts. Tetracyanonickelate 2 ion is a labile complex. That means the cyanide ligands can be exchanged with other ligands in a reaction. Whereas hexacyanomanganate 3 ion, it is moderately labile. That means its reactivity is very less. It is moderately labile. The cyanide ligands can be exchanged with other ligands, but the rate of reaction is very slow. Whereas hexacyanochromate 3 ion, it is inert. It is an inert complex. It will not involve in the reaction. But remember, all these complexes are thermally stable. All the three complexes are thermally stable. So please don't confuse with the thermal stability and kinetic stability. Labile means which involves in reaction. Inert means which do not involve in reaction. Thermodynamic stability is different. Hexaamine cobalt 3 ion is thermally unstable. Thermally unstable. Unstable, but it is kinetically inert. Kinetically inert. That means if we want to do a chemical reaction on this complex, it will not involve in any chemical reaction. But when we supply heat energy, thermal energy, it is unstable. It is unstable. So this is how the kinetic stability and thermal stability are different.